Yo, 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 yo. How are we all doing? Got a new streaming setup here for like the third time in 3 weeks. So hopefully this is all good. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. I'm going to check on my phone because I'm paranoid. Um, oh, oh, I think OBS is the way to go, man. I mean, this is unreal. This is so unbelievably sharp. Obviously the camera and the $5,000 camera rig helps, but the situation here paired with OBS, streaming 4K directly to YouTube now. No more restream. We're a YouTube exclusive. Okay, if YouTube should start paying me to exclusively stream on YouTube because I stopped streaming to the other platforms because last week it was a shit show. And also, I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Okay, I don't know if you guys are ready for this. We got a little cool thing that should work here too. Look at this. We got Derek, my man, popping up on screen here. Appreciate you, brother. This is hard to do. You would not believe how annoying it is to get this setup to work properly. I know this is like this is not like a crazy thing what's happening right now putting these comments on the stream, but with the setup that I have right now, this level of quality through OBS, the platform that I use to also record my shit, going directly to YouTube, and then it's tough. You can't really get the stream chat in there properly because there's no like direct link, so to speak. You had to use like a third party. I'm using Social Stream Ninja. It was kind of confusing at first, but great. Seems to work great after you get it configured. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I'm just happy that we have a solid situation now. So it's seemingly pretty good. Appreciate all you guys being here. I'm seeing some good thoughts already in the chat that I want to discuss here from Greg. I'm going to throw this out there before I get started. I'm so tired of listening to everyone complain how they feel AI is taking their jobs and yet refuse to learn it. Derek is in agreement. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Jonesy, what's up? Multiple channels. Now you're spoiling us so much to catch up on. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's going. I'd like to talk about a lot of that. Again, I'm kind of, to be honest, real quick, like the live streams. I love live streaming. I did it a lot, like when I was younger, because I'm becoming an old man now. I'm 30. But I did it a lot during, I want to say like the kind of the COVID time was when I really started streaming, not really about WordPress or AI or anything like that, obviously at the time, but just in general. Then when I started really diving into WordPress, I did a lot. I'm just trying to like now, as you'll see today with, obviously the title and everything like that is my new community, Modern Builder Society, that I just launched. And I want to talk about that. But at the same time, I'm trying to like, I have the main channel, the second channel, and now like community and everything like that. And it's great because I love creating, I love exploring and learning and trying and sharing everything that I do. And I know this is the way to go, but I'm trying to make sure that I kind of have a reason behind every outlet, so to speak, right? So like the second channel is kind of like behind the scenes and some random updates and thoughts and raw sessions. The main channel is now like more polished videos, so to speak. Like they're at least like tighter edits most of the time, and they actually have like a specific thing that I'm trying to get through because I'm generally long-winded and like to talk about everything all the time. But then the live streams are kind of like we can kind of hang out, we can kind of talk about different things, little different updates, potentially like work on some different stuff. And then within the community, like I'll explain all the stuff. Like there's going to be live calls in there too, where it's more specific to, whatever questions anyone has or anything that we're working through specifically. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So I appreciate you all being here. Derek said, I must admit, I have not started your AI business course yet. We'll soon though. All good, brother. All good. Appreciate you being an early adopter there. We got more updates on that, so I will share that. All audio and video is 5x5 and rocking a hell yeah. It's been a while since I watched your videos, live or not. I've been there so busy. I hear you. Everybody's busy, man. We're all trying to keep up with everything. OBS with Stream Deck makes live super easy. It makes things way easy. Yeah, I have the pedal. I don't have the deck on my desk or anything. I don't have one of those, but I have the pedal thing, and it definitely helps with a lot of like teleprompter stuff and all sorts of different stuff. What happened to classic black shirt, dude? I have no idea what I'm wearing nowadays. So just whatever is clean. You know what I mean? The wife is pregnant. She's due in 2 months from 2 days ago. So we're working hard over here, and it is what it is. So Greg says 11,000 days on being. I'm trying to monitor how these things are looking pretty good too. These little pop-ups. So this is nice. Congratulations on 11,000 days and being free from anything addictive, which is all of your life. Hello, which I wish I could say the same, but I'm glad in the place where I am. Because, yeah, 100%. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's just something that I don't know how the hell that happened. I don't know how I got to. Um, Greg's referring to. I put up a post that said no alcohol, no nicotine, no like cannabis, anything like that. I don't know how that happened. My mom told me not to do it when I was young, and I was just like, all right, whatever. She told me just enough to not make me like rebel, I guess. I don't know. That's what I say normally. Um, hell yeah, hell yeah. Michael here. What's up? What's up? Were you by chance a member of the forum called Builder Society? I don't think so. But now I have Modern Builder Society. So I didn't know about that. So I did not rip anybody off. I looked funny story about this Modern Builder Society situation. It was beginning of December 2025, and I was like, I have to put out I have to like break the seal on like monetizing my knowledge. And I'd made some level of income from, like knowledge from like YouTube or whatever, but like, and some paid calls here and there, but I wanted to like actually put out some sort of packaged info product thing. And that's when I thought of the AI powered WordPress agency course. And I was like, you know what? I know that this is going to evolve though. So I needed to think of an idea. And I was like going back and forth on the names. And eventually like I settled on Modern Builder Society because I wanted something that this is a live stream. I guess I can rant to you guys because you guys will probably appreciate this. Like, it's just like we'll dive into it. We'll talk more about it. But like, I don't want to just be like, I definitely don't want to be an AI hype guy because that's not what resonates with me. I don't want to be an AI doomsday guy either because I'm definitely just not that. But there's like this weird line where you think as a content creator or just as an expert of something, like you want to know how to use the tools, you want to know how to like get ROI for yourself or for clients or for your students or what have you, which I can do that and I'm doing that. But at the same time, it's like when I was thinking about the name, I was thinking about like this isn't all about AI necessarily. It's not like it's AI. We were going crazy. AI, right? But it's a tool. It's a tool set. It's more of a concept for me at this point. Like it's just the new way of working. And I say just, but it's we could talk for days about this. It's not like it's came to everyone like this. It's for me, I feel like I grasped it. I felt like I was late, but I'm still, like if we're all talking about it, we're still early, but I felt like it came really naturally to me. I was like, and it's probably because like I don't mind not doing the work, like or not doing. I don't mind doing less like digital manual labor. I'd rather be doing more thinking, more architecting, more planning, and kind of like steering rather than just remembering every line of syntax. And some people literally hate me saying that, so that's totally fine. But that I just truly believe, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that it's a safe bet to assume that that's where things are going to continue to go. We're very much in the Wild West now, and that's why I think that like Modern Builder Society and all the other content that I'm putting out has been resonating with some people because people are just like confused and they don't really have the time to go figure out exactly how to do it and navigate it themselves because I was in that position too for a while and I was just watching content. I was watching content in that automation era with N8N and all these other, platforms and I was like I don't feel like this is the next thing. Like I mean, I'd used Zapier like 5 years ago. It's like this is not inherently any different. And yeah, way better in a lot of ways, but like it's not inherently any different. Like where are we going here? Like I don't feel like this is the thing. And I'm actually really glad that I kind of skipped that era because now, I'm in Claude code every day or Codex. I got to try Codex a little bit more, but like I'm in these agentic coding environments like every day. And it just makes me feel more like a developer because I'm actually caring about what's happening. You got to be intentional with this too. Like that's another hallmark of, what I kind of like want to continue to talk to people about, educate people on, and try to steer them in that direction. You can't just be willy-nilly in here. You shouldn't just think like, oh, it's AI. I'm just going to build like a bunch of random shit really quickly and not care about anything that's going on. That's not what I would recommend. This whole thing is very nuanced. And I think that if you're not taking it seriously from that angle, then you're going to have a bad experience. And honestly. Like that's where, the AI, critics and cynicists, like that's where I think they come from, and I think that it's very reasonable in that way. But we've never. It's just the whole thing though is I could soapbox on this for a long time, and if you guys have like specific things like thoughts or whatever, like I can riff on those too and give you some thoughts. But it's just I see it. I look at it all, and the funny thing is I'm not like a big history buff. Like that was never my strong suit. I just, whatever. But like there's got to be a lot of parallels here, even in recent history. Like I don't understand why anyone is like unbelievably critical of this situation. There's things to be critical about, but I don't understand why people are like confused or surprised by the situation. You know what I mean? By like the situation of the fact that like this is so empowering to so many people that are intentional about what they're building. And then they they're confused by like, oh, why are people using this to like work really fast? It's like, what do you mean? Why did we I got to think of like really better examples for this because I've been thinking about this a lot, but like why did we move from horses to cars? Why did we move from candles to electricity? Like I mean, those are ridiculous examples, but I'm just saying like this is not like this is the first time this has happened. I was born in 1996. I wasn't really like cognizant enough to know that like when the internet was kind of like becoming a thing, obviously. But like I would have to assume, I'll do some more research because I could be wrong here. Okay. I'm happy to be proven wrong all the time. But like I'd have to I would have to imagine that people were skeptical of the internet. And it's like turned out to not be a fad, right? So I'm not saying AI to internet is a perfect one-to-one, but I don't think the concept is going away. I think it's going to continue to evolve. And to Greg's point earlier in the chat, I am way past the point of like fighting it, right? It's one of the hallmarks and things that I talk about in Modern Builder Society too, like in kind of some of the material that I've been putting together to try to like frame it is like I want to have an impact on as many people as possible and largely, I guess, the world. But I don't think that like at my current and at most of our current levels, we actually, have like a huge impact, right? So we can't like just walk into the front offices of Anthropic and be like, stop this right now. Like, I mean, okay, maybe you think you could do that, round the people up and do that. I mean, go ahead. But I don't believe that I can do that right now. So my point is that while we are early and while the shit is cheap, because it may get more expensive, we should probably take this as an opportunity to get as far ahead as possible and leverage it as much as possible. So then when it does get more expensive, we potentially have more money to pay for the shit. But two, like then we're potentially in a better position of power to bring people into that fold still, like help like educate more people or educate our clients or work with our clients or whatever, as well as being closer to some degree, maybe like the actual like there's just no shot that you're gonna have like if you don't get into it, you're not gonna have like the impact that you could have if you just didn't get into it. I don't know a better way to explain that right now, but that's my point is like I just think that the complaining it almost just doesn't help. And I'm not saying don't have conversations about things that matter and like the corner cases, the nuances, the things like that. Like that's for sure because this is not a perfect environment. But I just think that like I don't know what it is. I'm gonna end on this and I'll go back to the chat here in a second. But I just think that whatever it is about me, and maybe it's about you as well, I am just so like change tolerant that it's just this is nothing for me. Like it's literally nothing. It's just like, oh, like as soon as it finally clicked and I was like, okay. And it was honestly a lot of like other personal blockers in like my content and my situation. It wasn't like it was for months. I was like looking over the fence. I was like, oh shit, I think I should check this shit out a little bit. And I just didn't. But as soon as I looked into it, I was like, okay, this makes total sense. I don't know why I waited this long. And I feel like I'm still early, but I feel like I waited a long time. So that's just how it is for me. And I'm so change tolerant, like I said, that it's just easy for me. Like it's easy for me to just take this and just roll with the punches because I I don't know what the alternative is. the alternative is, I have that as a big saying that throughout my whole life. It's like, what's the alternative? The alternative is don't use it, and try to continue to move forward. It's literally like telling somebody not to use the internet in 2010 or whenever, like even earlier, but depending on, like, like when everything was spinning up. Like, that's kind of what it is. I I don't know. I just that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of it. So, all right, soapbox turned off for a second. Let's take a look at some of this. Jonesy, what's up? What's up? Love what you've been doing with Astro. I invested in Phantom WP, looking good so far. Hell yeah, sweet. Yeah, I mean, Astro is really impressive. Obviously, like a lot of the sites that I'm building now, my personal website, my agency website, client sites that I've been converting. I'm loving it. I know the one thing that I would say there is it's obviously not the only example. I saw a video yesterday. My buddy James Welbus, he calls himself the world's worst web developer. He reposted it. I think it was Chris Good's video, and he was kind of explaining that, like, he moved his website to like Next.js and Sanity. I haven't tried Sanity yet. I have like a whole list of stuff because I've tried Astro and I've tried WordPress Headless like that. I've tried pure Astro. I've tried like 3JS, which obviously is like more like motion game type shit on some other stuff. Obviously I know none of the syntax for any of these things, so, crucify me. But the actual technologies themselves, if you understand how they interact together and things like that. And a real quick, tiny soapbox on that. It's like nobody else, when they thought of like Astro, like when they thought of using Astro, nobody else knew anything about it. Like when you try something for the first time, generally you don't know anything about it. So that's literally also where everyone's at. And I think that there's also kind of like a little bit of a like something out there that's people are like mad that people are allowed to learn things now in a way, or maybe they just feel like it's because you're not learning the syntax, you're kind of like faking it. But I honest to God, I truly believe that in five or so years, honestly less than that, like we still need obviously engineers, like 100%, but those are a specific type of people that want to, like, I don't wake up in the morning and think, how can I make a rival to Astro that's not currently the wavelength that I'm on, because that's not my place. My thing is like, how can I make cool things with the things that already exist, right? How can I make, I'm not trying to create new like fundamental layer of technology. I'm trying to create like new things that leverage current technology, so to speak. That's just who I am. And that's who a lot of people are. So I still have an immense amount of respect for people that want to create new, like completely new things, like even further down the abstraction layer, because we're probably going to need that realistically. I would caveat that by saying, I think we do have a lot of stuff that's cool already and very usable. I think to some degree, we're probably just like widening the net for, I don't want to say for no reason, but there's probably like a good amount of tooling that we already have that we could just build a lot more like creative extra stuff with. But that's sort of a side note. I just think like, when I think about this Astro, like as one example, and I think about all these new technologies that I'm now able to just prompt and understand and vet and think about, it's unbelievably empowering and enabling, because I'm able to just move through different projects and prototype quickly and different stuff. Again, there's a lot more nuance there, because you can't just be sitting there learning constantly. That's a trap that I've fallen into in other, past endeavors. You have to be actually getting it out there and trying to either use the tools to market yourself or your services, or use the tools as the actual, whatever you build as the actual product. And there's a lot of nuance there, and I don't know how else to say it other than like, there are some things that I hold very close to the vest that like I actually truly believe and I know to be true, but I don't operate like that. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like I don't operate in like I am the absolute authority on every single thing that comes out of my mouth. I don't think that's like a productive way to live life at all, and especially be like a creator and a thought leader. Because if you do that, then you're like perceived as never wrong. Now you need to have opinions and beliefs for sure, but I have like trained myself, especially over the last year and a half, to like be like, we don't fucking know what's going on right now. Like even Anthropic and OpenAI and whoever, they don't know what's going on. You definitely don't know what's going on. I definitely don't know what's going on, right? And then that's a premise of modern builder society. It's like, bro, we are in the Wild West right now. If somebody's telling you that they know everything, they're bullshitting, they're hyping, they're whatever. I know a good bit. I know some stuff. I might be a couple steps ahead of, you, somebody else, whatever, because like I'm just in it like a lot and I'm like watching different stuff and I'm tinkering with different things, but we're all generally navigating this together. So that's the idea behind modern builder society and pretty much all my content in general. It's like I'm trying to navigate this with you. And I do think that because of my past endeavors and experiences, and potentially your past endeavors and experiences too, I'm a little more preconditioned to critical thought about things that are like new or just difficult to kind of wrap your head around. I think I have a knack for kind of like going deep, understanding something and then breaking it down in a more simple fashion. So that's why I think that this is right for me. Maybe it's, maybe it's right for you if you want to start your own community, et cetera, whatever. But like my point is that this is just one of those eras where we don't get it all the time. I don't feel like, I mean, there's always things changing, but this is like a big one. This whole AI, right? Just, because it's just, that's what we call it now, just AI. That whole thing is so large that it is breaking people's minds because we don't see it that often. Like it's a 20-year thing, like a 40, like every 20 years or whatever. Like you have like a big time event almost. I feel like this or something that really gets people kind of going. And I don't know. I just really like it, but at the same time, that's not how I've positioned myself. I want to be the person that helps people navigate the stuff because I know that I can do that. But I really truly believe like you got to be wary, you got to be skeptical. If somebody is telling you that like something is going to be like this forever or something is going to change tomorrow, like be careful. I mean, just say like I mean like do you have whatever? I don't know. I just saw myself glitch. I hope that was okay. I think we're still good. Did we drop any frames? Says we didn't drop any frames. Okay. I think we're good. All right, where are we at? I like how this chat thing too. You can't see it, but on my end, it tells me which ones I clicked on already. Fantastic. Derek, child 1 or 2? First child, boy named Nolan. Yeah, so that's exciting. What's up? What's up? Love the vids, man. Inspiring me to build directory site with Astro and Claude Code. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know I've been on the Astro soapbox here for a little bit. I would say that definitely give it a shot. I mean, I got a lot more thoughts on this too, but I don't want to come across as like anti-WordPress. I definitely have some thoughts. WordPress has given me a lot. I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't find WordPress, if I wasn't like directed towards WordPress way back when in like 2017, 2018. But at the same time, I do believe right now, like the world is moving really fast and it's definitely moving a lot faster than like the apparatus of WordPress can, which is understandable because it's a monolithic big system that, takes a lot of things. They're doing great work. Again, James LePage and team, I know they're doing great work on the AI front specifically, but, I have changed my mindset personally where like, I feel like speed is actually really important. I used to not think speed was that important. I used to have I had a client and I really hated like every time I got an email from them, I would shudder and I would like be like, "Ugh, this is awful. I really don't want to do whatever's in this email because I know it's going to be annoying. And then I'm going to have to change it back like in, 10 minutes effectively whenever they don't like it." And I still don't fully agree that you should change shit like literally constantly. However, speed is a very important thing. And I think that I don't know if I've been co-opted into not believing that over time or just like maybe I had some bad experiences or whatever, but speed is important because if you're not moving, the reason it's scary is because you feel like you have to make all the right decisions. And that's actually not true at all. Like I find myself so often now, I'm like sitting at the desk here and I'm like thinking I'm doing it a little bit. I'm doing it much better now. But like I'm doing a little bit of thinking, and I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like none of this matters. It doesn't matter what decision you make. But the only thing you can't do is not make a fucking decision. That's the only thing that you cannot do right now. So just make a decision and just do something. You know what I mean? Like it's because eventually, if you do that enough times, you will naturally, as a capable human being that is trying to get better, you will naturally just move towards whatever you're actually trying to get to. Because you're gonna naturally just be like, okay, well that like as long as you're making a decision, you might not go directly there, but you will find a way there. Because there's essentially no way it can't, or you at least like make progress at some point. You know, even if you went the wrong way, you would still know at some point. You'd be like, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I came from, but you know, speed is kind of important. I think a red or dark red shirt would give you great look given the background color. Yeah, I think been thinking about upgrading my wardrobe, so maybe I'll have to do that. Too bad you couldn't have done something like Modern JavaScript Society. Ah, sneaky. I like that. MJS. Yeah, that would have been sneaky. I should have tried that. Derek's in agreement there. Greg says, finding that line between using tools in a way that promotes others to grow versus coming across as hype takes a brain exactly like yours. Well, I appreciate that, Greg. If they took the same amount of time they used to whine about it and learn it, then maybe they'd be a step ahead of the game. However, that's where we stand. Yeah, yep, Jonesy agrees. Yeah, I'm also kind of, again, you know, a little libertarian, not necessarily political, but like just like in, you know, the practice, you know, I guess just in general, but like libertarian in the sense like laissez-faire. Like I'm trying to help as much as I can, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Like I'm not your mom. You know what I mean? I'm not your parent. I'm gonna give you what I got. If you want to give me, you know, if you want to join the community, if you want to buy the courses, if you want to whatever, that's cool. That's the way that I'm headed. If you want to work with me, right, on the client stuff, like that's great. But like I don't like that idea of almost like forcing it and like forcing my thoughts, so to speak. I just don't think that's I don't think that's I'm not good at it, truthfully. It's like because I'm just gonna be like, I'm more of like, I don't know, this is a random aside, but I'm more of like, if you have a thought or if you're having a conversation and like not necessarily a debate entirely, but it's always more like the best. I need to do better at this, especially in like a personal sense sometimes. If you're ever like trying to have a conversation with somebody about a tech topic or what have you, if you ask questions, you're actually like way more likely to not have an altercation, but you're way more likely to like actually get through to somebody, I feel like, because it's kind of, I don't want to call it manipulative, but it's almost like reverse psychology. It's like instead of me yelling at you and telling you like this and this is, you know, you're wrong, if I just asked you questions that kind of like led you to the conclusion, there's probably a name for this. I don't know what it is. This is not a new thing, but like, that's what I've like reverse engineered in my mind, is if I just start asking questions, just try to understand, and you come from a point of curiosity, you don't come from a point of like, gotcha. Then you can you arrive at two great solutions or two great conclusions most of the time. It's either you actually do kind of persuade them to understand like your mindset, your methodology, and like wherever you're coming from, or that's probably best case, but like or you have their understanding now, you have their perspective a little bit better, and you can say, okay, well, I don't agree with you, but based on your lived experience, the things you're talking about, et cetera, whatever, I understand where you're coming from now, at least. You know, I have more context and more understanding. So, yeah, again, I think that's kind of one of the things that we're going to be battling here for probably for a long time. But, you know, in this topic and just in life in general. I have a group I participate in that tries to knock me down because of all how I'm in with Notebook LM, can't speak, and Gemini, and combining them to create things that were never possible before without spending stupid amounts of money. Yeah. Notebook LM is crazy. I got to try it out a little bit more. I've tried it a little bit here and there. The sound of a 56K baud modem waiting for that famous You've Got Mail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Past times. Currently use Gemini with Google Workspace, Moxie CRM, Notion. Solid stack there, I would say. Yeah, I mean, Gemini's cool because it's like all integrated. So if you have, Google Workspace, you're already like halfway there. Notion's doing some cool stuff. I saw that. I haven't used Moxie, but I think we're behind on the chat here. But it's because I've been talking too much. Valid point. Media is saying how expensive AI will be. If anything, I think it'll be cheaper. But again, it depends on what you choose and how you use it. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. I mean, I think there's a real chance that it does get more expensive. I could understand that because, maybe they bump the price. I don't know. I feel like I'm mixed on it because, I think about like other models and I think about like Tesla. They came out with like expensive stuff first and then it got cheaper. And now that I think about it, I think about other creators that were in AI and actually utilizing it way earlier than I was, and they said that it was really expensive back then, and now it's way cheaper. So it might be completely wrong. That might be a completely false prediction from like a lot of people of like, oh, it's going to get way more expensive. I don't know. It doesn't matter though, right? Because like it's cheap right now, so let's take advantage of it. Hopefully, it gets even cheaper. Fantastic, but if it gets more expensive, then hopefully we'll be in a different position. So yeah. Payload CMS looks promising too, has a whole UI. Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that from Chris Lemma. I saw Payload and Astro. That was one of the first times that I personally saw Payload. But yeah, Payload, Sanity. I've heard of Directus. Obviously WordPress. I don't know, man. It's just, this is another topic. I know we're just riffing on a bunch of topics here, and this is really good, but this is another topic of, I came from the web development side of things where I feel like a lot of us have been, and there's a whole nother world, and I keep alluding to it, but I haven't actually made like a ton of content on it yet because I feel like my audience skews towards web designers and developers, which it's always going to be me. I do enjoy like a good website. I enjoy a good website for myself though, which is a side topic. Less for like clients, so to speak, just because like it's harder to gather. It's not harder to gather the context, but like I just feel like you have to be in it. You have to like, there's so much to a website because it's so visual. The UX is so important that like it does take a fine art. And this is where every one of us now should really lean into. The machines are really good at doing the work. They're not really good at, I don't even want to be that because they probably will be better at this. But like as of right this moment, they're really good at doing the work. Like you don't have to do like the manual labor as much nearly, obviously, as we can tell. But you still do have to steer and you still have to be the person that is gathering some of the context and asking the right questions to your clients and then kind of like importing that into the LLM, and then also, again, the best word I can say is like steering it and orchestrating it. But for me, and I say this in some of the content now, is like client work has been great, like for a learning experience, but it has never really fully lit me up in the sense because I don't feel like, at least the client experiences that I've had, they're not like as into it, so to speak. Like their heads down obviously on their business. So it's kind of mostly my job to help them with that. And I've done, I feel like, a good job with all the clients that I've had. I haven't had like bad reviews or anything. It's just like when I'm building my website, like I know what it's about. It seems like other people don't have this. It seems like other people have the opposite problem. Like they can't build their own websites. I've never had that problem, at least my personal site. Like I'm looking at it on the other screen right now. It's like, I don't have a problem building this. Like it's so easy for me. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Like maybe I just like talking about myself, or like maybe I'm like, I've been so self-aware for such a long time that I have like all of this like knowledge documented and then in my head about like what I kind of want the world to kind of see about me, and then ultimately any of the businesses or whatever like that. And I just don't know if that's everyone. I definitely don't think that's like most like service-based businesses. And so I don't know where I'm necessarily riffing with this, but like that's kind of like something that I think if you can hone in on that, that is still going to be extremely valuable for at least some amount of time because, I don't know. We've had this conversation before back in the page builder era and stuff like that. It's like, these businesses that are not being affected directly by AI, right? Like I saw some shit recently, like farmers and all this other stuff, right? They're not being affected by AI directly, like their business, but like the marketing side of their business is probably being affected. They're not gonna jump into AI. They're not like us. They're not like feeling concerned that much. They're feeling maybe concerned like in other areas, but they're not feeling concerned in like their main hub, right? Until robotics really kicks in, and which might not be that long, but the point is like now is still the period of time where you can still jump in on a lot of that. And I just say all this to say that I think that that is still a huge opportunity. And I mean, I'm kind of saying it, but I'm also like doing it in the same way. It's like I feel the same way about everyone in our industry. There's doomers. There's like doomers that say like, "Oh, we're going to lose our jobs." Really don't understand that much. I mean, like that's controllable. There are people that are hype beasts about it. I get it from as a content creator because that might be how you have to make money. But at the same time, like it doesn't resonate with me because I realize that yeah, you should cover like the new things, but you shouldn't talk about new things like you know exactly how they're like how they are and they're going to change the world and all this other stuff. Like there's so much of that, so I understand the fatigue there. But then there's also like another group of people that like kind of use it, but they're also like cynical of it or like critics of it, which I do understand that because I live in the nuance. That's exactly where my being is. So I understand the good, the bad, the ugly of things. And because everything in life is like that. Like there's very little things that are pure good, pure bad. So that was a long-winded thing of from a short comment about CMS stuff, but these are the things that go through my head because like everything that I see in this space is reduced down to the tool level generally because that's the easiest thing to talk about. But ultimately, like we're talking about world changing stuff here that is also not, again, not to me, not very surprising. It's just like most humans probably don't want to do a lot of the work, the repetitive manual work that they have had to do. And the machine is probably better at doing at it. So if you can just offload a lot of that, I mean, I don't see this any different as like, I don't see it much different than hiring people. Maybe not hiring like the absolute specialists, like the top tier people, but like that's just, I don't see it as any different. And then you're going to say, okay, well, now we're taking people's jobs. It's like, I get it. I understand. But this is not the first time this has happened. And yeah, it probably sucks, but I don't know. Also, LinkedIn spam. I don't know if you could hear that. May probably didn't hear it on this, but if I would have been on the other one. So quit LinkedIn. Fucking trash over there. Just absolute terrible outreach. As an aside on the LinkedIn thing, it would be fine if like most of the LinkedIn outreach I got was good. It's all fake. It's all bad. It's all canned stuff. Why are we still paying for that? Do people actually does anybody know if anybody actually gets like good response rates from that kind of trash on LinkedIn? Real quick, another point because I'm on a roll here. That's another thing too is like perspective in all this. I'm thinking from the outreach thing was the thing that sparked it in my mind, but I look at the outreach that I get from like LinkedIn or the email stuff or whatever, and I think to myself, who the fuck is clicking on this? But then I think, realistically, somebody has to be, right? Why would you be spending money on LinkedIn outreach or cold email or whatever if nobody was clicking, right? So you get all these bullshit outreach things. Now, some are better than others, obviously, right? Like that does matter. The content creative, if you want to call it, the text, whatever. But who is clicking on this shit? And then you think if it's existing, there's no way these guys are paying for this stuff, these sequences and all this sort of stuff, if they get no ROI at all, right? Right? You would think. I don't know. This is a hypothesis. I don't know because I don't talk to these people. But if that's the case, I might actually start just replying, be like, I have no interest in whatever you're trying to sell me here, but do you actually get responses to this? But you think about it. Okay, the reason I'm trying to say this is because like I don't know if this is a me thing, but I'm gonna put it out there because I put everything out there, right? But just humor me. if you think that, if you get a cold DM and you're like, why is anybody responding to this? And then you go through that train of thought, it's the position that I'm in, like my instinct to reply in that way is actually slightly detrimental because I'm limiting myself, like potentially limiting the opportunity that I have because I'm not like taking my perspective out of the equation enough. I'm not like I'm letting my pre-beliefs, potentially limiting beliefs, but I don't think that perfectly fits here. I'm letting my beliefs influence the reality too much. And again, this is a silly LinkedIn cold outreach example, but I'm saying with anything, if you jump to a conclusion because of what you believe, yeah, you might not respond to your own outreach. You might not think your website's that good. You might not think your community is that valuable, but that doesn't mean other people don't. That might mean that you have incredibly high standards. That might mean that you're just further. Like I literally suffer from this. Like I think about my website and I was like, this could be a lot better. I think about the community that I'm launching here. I think about it could be a lot better. It's like, well, they're gonna get better for sure. But I just think like right now, it's like I'm putting out videos on YouTube and content on YouTube, and people are loving the skills and lead magnet stuff like I'm putting out. Like I'm getting these emails that people are downloading this stuff, right? And I appreciate all the support. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this just doesn't, I know it's valuable, but it doesn't seem like incredibly incredible, right? And I think that that's like one of the like I'm trying to work on it, but I'm saying if you have this issue as well, try to not do that. Try to not do that because it's detrimental to you. It's detrimental to your business. It's detrimental to to more of what you're doing and to how you're perceiving your work and how you're potentially able to sell that. You have to like, this is where like delusional confidence starts to play into it as well, where you have to, like, nobody is going to believe in you or your product or your shit more than you. Now, I don't think you should be like arrogant about it, but you do need to be confident about it because that's the thing is like, if you're not confident about it, nobody's going to be confident about it. Nobody's going to think it has value. It's almost like a full perception perspective, slight smoke and mirrors game, but like obviously there's got to be real value to the shit as well. But there is a level of subjectivity to it. There's objectivity to the value, but then there's also a level of like subjectivity of the confidence level of it. How much like you actually believe in it enough to sell it. Whatever it is. I'm talking about a bunch of different stuff here. Community, the outreach shit, but like even your websites that you build for people, right? Or whatever. Like I think that that's a big thing that I'm starting to really understand and I have to constantly be better at because if you're not your biggest fan, then probably nobody's gonna be a fan. So yeah. Lex, what's up, brother? Appreciate you. I know that comment was like 30 minutes ago, but I've been rambling on a bunch of different stuff here. Let me scroll through this chat here. Scrolling. Question for everybody from Derek. Should my next computer be a Mac Studio? I currently use a MacBook Pro 13-inch M1 2020 with 8 gigabytes. It's actually a really good question. I'll weigh in slightly. I have a GTX 2080 card in this thing that I probably made the last time. You can see all this if you go to my website /tools. Why don't I just pull it up for you real quick? If you go over here and you go to tools and you have this cool little gear section, it's pretty sick. This guy right here, this is what I stare at. It's on my right. If I click this, actually, man, this is a nice website, dude. Vibe coded. This isn't what my setup looks like anymore. That was upstairs, but like basically like this is the parts list and everything. So if you obviously like moving forward, here's the reason I wanted to go into this for a second is because like I do believe this, that moving forward into the future, we are going to need to have our own, I don't want to say supercomputers. I mean, we obviously already have supercomputers in our pockets, but like if you want to be like really, if you care about your data more, which honestly, like I'm not there yet, but if you care about your data more, you should probably be doing a lot more stuff locally on LLMs, which is a whole nother topic that we don't necessarily get into. But The point is that you need to have something. And I'm not telling you right now to go do this. I just brought this up as an example because this computer was built probably in like 2020, 2021, somewhere there. When was it? Yeah, 2020. And this is the card that I got, which was a good card back then, right? And now it's not anymore. I mean, like it's, you have like 5090s, I think, and they're like 24 gigs of RAM and that, or 24 gigs of VRAM. And that's the thing that you actually really want because that's where those models get stored and all that sort of stuff. Now, here's the thing though, like I'm not going to go into super, hardware tech right now, but as far as I understand it right now, there's a lot of these local LLMs that are really, really good and you can put them locally, right? On your machine if you have enough, technically VRAM, but in the Mac world, you can get like unified RAM. It's like all unified. The CPU and GPU is, from my understand it, or it's like really in close proximity. You can go to like Apple, like Derek is saying, get a Mac Studio 512 gigabytes, ridiculously $10,000, whatever, and do that. My whole point in saying this is that I can't give you a specific computer recommendation, but I do think that is the thing that if I'm getting a new computer, which at some point I'm going to have to replace this situation because I can run some stuff on here, but not enough. I do think that's the next step. That's bleeding edge. Okay. Like people are starting to get into that. But again, we just saw that chart a little bit ago. I can't remember what it was right now, but it's like, how many people know about AI? And it was like squares, and like most of the squares were grayed out because nobody knew about it. And then like just like 0.04% of people in the entire world, we're talking like, 10 million or whatever it is, actually know how to use Claude code and coding agents, right? So my point is that if that's the case, then I would imagine localized AI is probably somewhere in that realm as well. And as it sits right now, local AI isn't hard to spin up and do and all that sort of stuff. And there's definitely some good models already out there, but I just feel like that's kind of where my mind goes. But it's also like I'm going to use the closed source frontier models just for now as I continue to move throughout. So I know that was again a long answer to a relatively simple question. But if I was you, I would probably, if you like the Mac ecosystem, I would consider that. That doesn't seem like a bad move at all. I would just be honest with yourself as far as what you're trying to do. Child second name, Claude. Maybe. Wife wants a girl. Amanda wants a girl. So, and I would love to have a boy and a girl. So that'd be nice. We'll see. Claudette, maybe. I don't know. See, no girl. There's no girl. I mean, I guess Claude is the only one that like has a name, kind of. So, Gemini be a girl's name? I don't know. Our agency is working on a multi-car dealership website with a complete listing of all inventory for each site. It's going to be super fun bringing in life. We'll be using anti-gravity, Supabase, and Vercel. Also haven't tried Supabase yet. I really need to get on my tool game, but I've been really liking the stuff that I've tried so far. And also have all those over here as well. All the tools. Is my keyboard off? There we go. Also have my curated list of tools over here. Random thing too is just now that we're looking at this, because I had a thought, because like I have a visceral reaction to like closed CRM. I like this tool, but I almost don't need it. And this is one of those examples where it's like, well, could I just vibe code something super simple myself? Like this is not a HubSpot, competitor. Like it's literally all it does is like, you could do it in Notion effectively for the most part. Like it's just a, kind of a Kanban. Is it Kanban? Kanban, I think people say, like board. And then like it does track your email, but like, and some tasks and things, but I don't know. I was using it for the agency and I do like it. It's not bad, but it's just one of those things where I'm not against paying for shit, but I like the ROI. Like I like getting value from the things that I'm paying for. So Claude, it's just funny because you compare, you know what I mean? Like it's one of these situations. You compare this at $20 a month, and that's billing. That's monthly, not annual. Annual, it's like $9 a month or whatever. But you compare that to like Claude Code at $100 a month. for all the shit that you could do, like all the power in the world. And then that's where the conversation of, is this going to get more expensive versus, and this idea of like, okay, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying create a CRM product without any prior knowledge for the masses. I mean, I still think you could do that. I think the market is gonna reward or punish you accordingly for doing something like that. But I'm saying like this, it's just one of those examples. I don't know. It just was looking at the tools and got triggered by that. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. Have I ever made a fire department website? Cannot say that I've made a fire department website. No. What the hell would you even put on a fire department website? I guess you'd put call 911. I'm just thinking about the fucking CTA for a fire department website. Just big 911 in red. Oh my God. Could you imagine a contact form? What is your emergency? It's a fucking contact form. We'll be back. We'll get you in, 1 to 3 business days. Be funny. My man, Greg, smash that like button. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see what we got here. Greg says, I don't see it necessarily getting more expensive, but I do see it kicking the minor players out of the game and leaving us with basically 3 or 4 major providers. Yeah. Anthropic has stood pretty steadfast. I feel like in a lot of the stuff that they've done, I think OpenAI is pretty well positioned from, kind of what I've seen. I mean, Sam Altman's always trying to slide in where Anthropic drops the ball, with that fucking, government stuff and all that. Google is, people don't say they like Gemini that much, especially I haven't really tried the coding agent that much, but they say like they don't really like that. I find it to be okay. I mean, Nano Banana is obviously the best there. It's interesting too, like how certain things are kind of better for other stuff. And it's like you want to use the same model for everything, and you can kind of get away with that for the most part. Because realistically, you shouldn't probably be using an LLM for everything. This is like really interesting. I want to tell a quick story. My dad is basically like a project management at like an HVAC company, and he's always been like a tinkerer and like a kind of like a MacGyver type guy. Like he's always like, I remember, when I was a kid, we had a computer and he was always just like doing different things on there. Not a software guy by any means, but he's just like interested in it. And, we just, he would do cool stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And even like now he's an Android phone. He's doing like, different like task apps, like not like task apps, but like, like macro stuff, like just like kind of that type of shit. Right. And it's really cool. And I've always like thought about that. And he's always thinking of, and I'll probably get some of this from him. He's like always thinking of ways to make his life easier, because he has a job, like most people, that's just kind of like, it's whatever, it's a job. It's kind of annoying in certain ways, right? And you don't have a lot of agency autonomy to do stuff, to change the way that things are done. But he's always taken it upon himself to make his life better in that way. And I appreciate that about it. And I think to myself, like, there's been a couple projects in the past, right? When maybe like 2 years ago, like we were doing a lot of things in Excel when I didn't really know the limit, I didn't know what AI could really do. Also, coding agents weren't really a thing yet. And I had prior coding and software experience, but I also wasn't going to like try to figure out how to do that shit just like randomly, like on a weekend side project when I'm trying to do my own business shit too. Cause I haven't had an actual job since 2021, so like obviously just always been doing my own thing here. So my thing is like, I'm trying to help him with all these things in the past, and we made some cool like Excel like shit, right? Like with like weird formulas and like page to page. But now I say all that to say that now I am able to help him and other people, but he's a good example, in so many other ways because of what this has given me. Like what Claude Code, or even I need to try Codex more, but like what these coding agents have given me the power to do. I know what needs to be done. I know architecturally what needs to happen. I do have a lot of prior experience on like the UX front, obviously, and even like the back end to front end, the data thing. As an aside, like I do think I should be a little bit better at explaining that I have experience. I've always never called myself a dev, but I've acted like a dev. I just don't know all the syntax, like, and that's kind of like positioned me perfectly for this. But my whole thing is with my dad, we've created these projects now where like they're full inventory systems. They're kind of like mini websites effectively, but they have like full data architecture built into like I just use JSON literally in the GitHub repo. It's got filters, it's got search, it's got smart search, it's got all of these different data points and everything like that. It's kind of like I think of it like making a WordPress website sort of in a way, but just through code. And just like it's simple. It's like I think it's literally just like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript mostly. It's nothing crazy, but it's a small utility website that he can go to, and now he has all of the ordering data and all of the inventory for all of the things that he orders, like through like the system that they have, and then all of the vendors and everything. I mean, it's unreal. Like it's such a he loves it. I need to be able to. The trouble with that is I can't like just show that necessarily as an example, but like the concept of that is like the epitome and the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen is like now it's empowered people to either themselves or with the help of other people that are again slightly more technical than them or whatever, slightly understand these tools better to create these things. I don't think you should be cognizant of what you're building. If you're building it for the masses, okay, maybe do some code reviews for sure and make sure that nothing's going crazy. But the other thing that's a little disingenuous is not every one of these projects is created equal, okay? The fact that I'm gonna piss off a lot of people here. Okay, so clip it and make sure. But the reality is that I think a lot of people have lied to themselves for a very long time, and myself included. So I'm gonna bucket myself. I think that we have thought that we are building things that are like really, really, really impactful. And most of us are just building brochure websites. Okay. So I'm not saying that they're not valuable, but I am saying that like if you think of like the apparatus of Facebook versus the website that you built for the hairstylist in town, okay? They're objectively different projects with a different amount of people that are affected by that project. And I'm not trying to diminish your efforts. I'm just saying that the reality is when we step into this AI coding environment, me vibe coding a mostly static website for myself that doesn't do anything super crazy. I mean, again, even for clients, like where like it has headless situation, like even that, like what are we talking about here? Like it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect from a syntax perspective. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably better than people give it credit for. The thing is trained off of human data. So I don't understand this secular there's some sort of word for this, probably like some sort of secular article, reductive like argument where don't use the AI that's trained on the human stuff. Use a human instead. And then I just say like, do you think that you are smarter than the sum of all humans implemented by a machine? That's crazy. If you think that, God bless you, but I don't. I don't know. I think I'm egotistical and narcissistic sometimes with the amount of shit that I put out about myself on the internet, but I'm not I'm not a person that thinks that I'm smarter than this fucking thing. That's crazy. I know in some cases it's autocomplete and that ultimately is what the LLM part is doing, but the actual code is it's trained off of, is it not? I could be wrong. I don't think I am. It's trained off of all of this stuff that is already out there that was created by humans. I just don't understand how you could hate on an LLM, prop up human, which I'm not anti-human, but then also come back to it and be like, well, you know what I mean? Like it's not completely random data that this shit is getting all the syntax from. It's the documentation that humans wrote for fucking 20 years, at least in part. So, yeah, I don't know how it evolves, okay? But I'm just saying from my experience, like I'll stop here because again, I'm soapboxing, but this is my live stream, so I can do whatever I want, I guess. We should talk about the community at some point. But we have been talking about it, kind of like this is the whole thing. All I'm saying is that that is kind of, I see where we're at. It's going to continue to evolve. And it's a little weird right now, but ultimately it was trained off human data, you know, for the most part. And again, there's pros and cons and nuances to that as well, but yeah. Oh, so many chats. Thank you guys. Where do I go here? Let's see here. Greg says, I'm starting to move away from web design, move towards PWAs and tools that provide more resources to both other agencies, business owners. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm thinking of going from website developer to AI strategist consultant for businesses, since there are now many AI website builders. So I would say like this is a good point. Probably a lot of people are thinking about this. I think a lot of people need help with AI. They need help to understand it. They need help to understand how to implement it. But I do think that depending on who you're talking to, you and I'm navigating this, but my current hypothesis is that your clients don't really give a fuck, I feel like, about AI probably because they're probably busy running their business because if their business isn't being taken over by AI, then they don't care about AI in the sense of their service. They care about it in the sense of their marketing, which is where you could obviously benefit. But the thing is like the biggest I use my dad as the example again. The biggest addition that I could and benefit that I could have is that I know how to create the thing that they want to create. And I can create it better and faster now than I could before. So I'm kind of like in the middle in this position is because if you're going to stay in web design and you love web design, which I genuinely do like UX and UI and building things and data. I generally like building it more for businesses that I'm closer to, so to speak, because it's it's kind of easier in a sense, and that's stuff I talked about earlier. But if you like that, I wouldn't tell. I have not told anybody to leave web design. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that I think is the gut reaction. I don't think web design is going to be completely gone because even the AI building tools that I'm seeing, the ones that like they still have a little bit of ways to go, and they're still not like great at getting a good website put together. I actually hate it though when people say that. So I'm gonna kind of like fix that statement a little bit. It's going to get better, but I'm saying in the meantime, your thing could be helping people by building websites. Obviously, implementing AI into your workflow to help build better, and like saying that too, like being like, "Hey, we're an AI first agency. We use it for all of our workflows. We use it to build websites. We use it for all this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we help you build out your initial stuff or like rebuild your stuff or whatever? We're going to heavily use AI for that. And then we could also talk about other services as well. I think you do need to. We've been saying this for so long. We've been saying that, oh, you can't just build websites. You need to have SEO or pay-per-click or whatever. That didn't change. That's actually getting more important, right? And the whole SEO and the pay-per-click stuff is obviously still there, but the SEO thing is a whole nother mess. But I've been building these websites with AI, and you kind of just tell it. You kind of just say, hey, I want to make sure this is SEO optimized in a sense of like make sure there's good like we're doing best practices on H1s, title tags, meta descriptions, open graph stuff, and it kind of just does it for you. You don't really need to click much. You do again though, as of right now. Okay, this is kind of the whole point of this soapbox part. The biggest asset that you can be to your clients right now, if you're going to continue to build websites or any project in general, is you still have to be the one that asks the right questions, because I think a lot of people, lay people, they still don't understand the best ways. And this is why I'm positioning myself this way with the community and the stuff that I'm doing. If you can't get the appropriate context into the model, then your output is going to be bad, right? I don't know if you guys watched the 8-hour live stream that kind of got fucked up thanks to Restream on the audio and video, but that I did when I built this website. Like, yeah, it takes a little long, But that's because like I'm constantly thinking about what more stuff can we do? What stuff can I add into this? It's definitely shorter than building a web. Like it is absolutely time for value way better because I couldn't have done that in 8 hours and thought about all that shit. So my thing is like, if you're with a client, your biggest asset is you know what a good website is. Assuming you know what a good website is, you know what the information you need to get out of them. So the discovery part, I think, becomes a lot more important. And like I say in the WordPress, the AI powered WordPress agency course, I go into that pretty in depthly because that is, from an agency standpoint, that's what the core of pretty much everything is now. It's gathering context, and you can use AI to help you gather that context. But you're still the facilitator of that process. You have to stay the authority, right? You have to stay the authority on these tools and on this type of workflow. I just, I've had people, again, from the course, they're just like, I didn't even know I had a speed problem. I didn't know I had a workflow problem. It's like, okay, well, you're welcome. Now you know. And it's like, and it's easy to fix. So yeah, let's see what we got here. What up, nerds? What up, James? Did I quit LinkedIn? No, I just get no engagement. I don't understand LinkedIn. It's probably because I've accepted and connected with a lot of people that probably have no interest in what I'm doing necessarily. Maybe that'll change now that I'm broadening because like nobody cared about the WordPress content at all. So maybe that'll help a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, I'm actually 30 minutes behind in this chat. Sorry. We're not taking people's jobs. We're taking people's jobs where people refuse to move forward with the tools to produce. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I just think that people are just going to see it like that. And I'm fine with that because again, it's not a malicious thing. It's just like, hey, we're moving forward here, bud. So, it's one of those tumultuous times where I'm sure the internet took people's jobs. I'm sure cars took people's jobs. I'm sure TV took people's jobs. I'm sure the radio took people's jobs. I mean, I don't know. I just need a million. I need to think of a million other examples and maybe people will understand it. No clients there from there whatsoever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's really the best thing. Maybe try some canned outreach. I don't know. Jamie, what's up? LinkedIn is great in Denmark right now, but we are always behind on stuff. Lots of client potential. Interesting. Maybe I should try to get Denmark clients from LinkedIn. No, I'm just kidding. What do we got here? The only reason most people even pay for it is so they can scrape possible customers and then using AI and automations to start conversations. Yeah, I've seen that. I feel like I try to do that for like a recruiter though. I don't know if that's technically legal. Let's see here. A bunch of little comments here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Speaking of Chris Hughes, is he still in Trinidad and Tobago? I don't know where Chris Hughes is. He's still traveling the world, I think. I have no idea. You got to look him up. He's an OG, a nerd's world, absolute OG. Crazy. $40 a month for $39 a month. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Where's it at? I'm assuming you mean the community. Let's talk about it. Here's what we got. All right. So I know this was part of the thing. We did a lot of talking here in the first hour. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to tell you the full story. The full story is back in December, I released the AI powered WordPress agency course. You can see that actually if you go here. Okay. So that had founder pricing, pre-sold it at $50, had pre-order pricing, and then had lifetime access now at $199. Cool. So this is what we got, right? We got some testimonials. We've had people that have completed the course so far. People are ranting and raving about it. 44 lessons, 9 modules, 9 hours of video. Okay. The concept here, if you want to get this course, okay, because I've had a couple of things, I guess I didn't make it completely clear. If you want this course, you can still get this course for $199 lifetime access. You have that. You'll be in the circle. You just don't want to have all the whole access to everything. If you want the course and you want all the community benefits, $39 a month. Cancel anytime. There's also a If you go to Modern Builder Society and you click here, this is going to take you over to like the Circle paywall situation. You can also save $120 if you pay annually, just because that's what everyone does, right? So, anywho, point is that I wanted to make a point about this course. This course was built before we started doing a lot of vibe coding. This is not vibe coding in WordPress. This is, I would still recommend this. And again, if you get in the membership, then you have this completely open for free, for, included. This course is about understanding how to run an agency. I wish I didn't say WordPress, because honestly, it's not just WordPress. It is relatively ubiquitous. I do talk about WordPress in it, but it could have been anything. So I kind of shot myself in the foot there. But the point is that if you take this course and you watch all of this, you will absolutely have a better idea of how to navigate running an agency in, or even a freelance in this era. That's the point. Okay. A lot of stuff that I talked about here, where I'm talking about like the discovery phase and all these different things, like that's literally how I thought about this. It was, how I think about everything, then positioning it, and then marketing and sales and discovery. I'm not like vibe coding. I am showing you how I'm thinking about it, and then showing you how I'm doing certain things from a discovery standpoint. Like we're making sure that we're recording calls. I'm showing you how to do all that. I'm showing you the whole process. Okay. Everything like that, even planning and building the websites, and then building WordPress projects specifically. But again, I think a lot of these skills are transferable, different things. Okay. Right. And then that's kind of the whole thing. So right now that's in there. Okay. So again, you can just go grab that right now if you want it, or you can come over here and get the membership, and then you're in. Okay. It's all in Circle. Everybody loves Circle. It was either Circle or School. I chose Circle back when. I don't dislike that, because Circle is a better platform than School, but every AI bro and their mother has a School community rather than the Circle community. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass. But I think that Circle is a fantastic platform. It is the better platform. No doubt about it. It's just, I don't know. All the cool kids are on School, but we can be cool kids over on Circle. This is the page right here. I'll drop it in here. It's in the description, I'm pretty sure, but how do I drop this? Do I drop it right here? There you go. If you want to go check this out, Modern Builder Society, again, it's a community for people who actually build things with AI. There's a lot more to that. It's like people that, we're getting bombarded with AI content. There's a lot of hype bullshit out there. That's not going to be this. I don't want that to be this. It's everything that I talked about for the first whole hour of this whole live stream, where I'm talking about we're navigating together. I'm looking at this stuff constantly. I'm using it for client services. I'm using it on my own stuff. You're probably swamped, I would imagine, with client work, or just the constant influx of shit that you probably get from about AI and all these different things. So that's what this community is about, right? What you're getting here. So there's a bunch of different stuff. So you get, you can look at this, but I have some notes in front of me here as well. So you get exclusive resources, right? So like I've had some of the lead magnet type resources already on some of the videos. Those are going to continue to exist, but that's obviously for building the email list and continuing to, get people into kind of like the broader ecosystem that I'm creating here, like a broader audience. Those are going to continue, but they'll be like the lighter version, and then everything like the better versions and the full versions and all the resources, and we can have conversations about them and everything like that inside the community. So that's going to be the resource side of things. We're going to have bi-weekly live session office hours. So every other week, I'm going to have a call. Right now, it's Wednesdays at noon Eastern, and we're going to hop in a room like a Zoom. I'm going to try to do it in Circle first, but it's going to a live room, kind of like the live streams, but we're all together. Okay, like a call, and we can talk about whatever's either going on, or whatever. Anybody can ask like questions about like things that they have. I can pull up screen shares. I can do whatever, but just trying to provide more value specifically during that time. There's obviously the community aspect of it, general discussions, connections. You can, talk to people, ask questions in general. I'm chiming in all the time. I'm posting different things like that. Have a couple posts in there already. We have an advisory. So like I have this advisory thing. Another perk down here is I have these advisory calls. Okay. They're $275 an hour right now. As a member of Modern Builder Society, you're going to get a discount on this. Right now it's $200. I might make it even less. I'm not sure. So, you're going to get this is for the public, but as a member, if you're in the community, then you get a obviously discount on that for more perks. Okay. What else we got here? Obviously, you get the AI powered agency, AI powered WordPress agency course included in there completely. So if you really want that, I shouldn't be saying this, but if you really want that and you join the membership and then you finish it before 4 months, and you really hate the community, you could leave and you get a better deal. Shouldn't be saying that, but I will. So that's more, and there's obviously more courses coming. That's not like, that's just the only one that I've done so far. I've been, working on this other stuff. And again, the thing is, like, I don't want to put out I don't want to put out this stuff until like I kind of feel like I'm really solid in, and I already have a ton of ideas for kind of the next like big piece of something that I could put in there. And if you have any suggestions, I'm completely open to that because I want this community to be as valuable as possible. So that's that. A couple other random things. So the price is locked. So like if you get in at $39 now, as long as you stay in there, it's never going to go up. It will go up for new members, but it won't go up for you. So that's a lifetime thing as long as you're in there. If you leave and come back, you're going to have to get it at the new price. But as long as you stay in there, price locked. And then also, I don't know if like some groups have this, some groups don't, but I don't see why you wouldn't do this. Affiliate program with 30% commissions on all of the like lifetime of the referral. So if you have, if you refer somebody and they pay, 40, 40, 40, 40, then you're getting 30% on all of that forever. So just another little added benefit there. I would say if, this is for you, if you're a freelancer or solo builder or whatever, like if you're using Claude Code, if you're using Cursor, if you're using whatever, like if you're somebody that wants to move forward in these types of things and you want to navigate this together with a community of people that have already done this, the best way that I can kind of express it is if you are somebody that has already decided that you are going to move forward with AI and you're not going to fight it, you're not going to, be a doomer, if you're not going to question the reality of where the world is seemingly moving here and the fact that we've now let this genie out of the bottle. And if you think that we can put the genie back in the bottle, it's probably not for you, just straight up. If you want to leverage it as much as possible while we have the data that we have, this is entirely for you. So that's kind of that. I could give you a sneak peek of it. Could do that. I could do that. Let me look at the comments here first. Oh man, where am I at here? I'm half an hour behind on the comments. How's this happen? You need a lot of VRAM to get a useful local LM. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that. I mean, I've ran some stuff on mine. But I do agree. You definitely need some. This is real Mark. Wink, wink. Claudia, exactly, Claudia. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll back. Where am I at here? Where are we at? Hola, Rob. What's up? What's up? First comment ever in the community, because that's the other thing too, is I say I have 30 plus members. We have 30 people that bought the course. Now they're in the community. So Rob is first. Big Rob, first comment. Huge. Cars took horses' jobs. Side note, cars were a solution to horse shit being literally everywhere. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, I've heard that before. Let me see here. I spend all the time that AI has saved me now on discovery and planning, and eventually the next step is the build. More planning, better build. 100%, Lonald. BOC, what up, big dog? Can't you change the course name? It's a great question, Derek. I could. The trouble is I didn't know. I mean, I guess I can do whatever I want, right? But the trouble is, yeah, it's kind of like integrated in there a little bit, right? So it's probably better for me to just build another even better situation, because it's kind of like integrated here and I marketed it like that. I don't know. I'll think about it. Claude told me to do that, but also I was like, fuck, I don't know. Realistically, I'm gonna have to make more content, right? And I'm gonna make more content, so it's probably water under the bridge, probably just a learning experience. Do you happen to know a website niche, a website business niche, bookkeeping or accountant? I'm doing my books myself and it sucks. Currently, I use QuickBooks, and I do it myself as well for bookkeeping. It's kind of annoying. I mean, there's some AI stuff and rules and things that you could do to set it up easier, but um, what was what's that one Christian Makoa uses? Fuck, I don't know. It's an AI one. It's specifically an AI one. He tells me he likes it. I don't know. I'll have to look it up here. AI bookkeeping. What is it? No. I don't know. If I find it, I will post it somewhere. Yeah, literally no idea. Literally no idea. I'm sure somebody's got a good thought though, because I'm sure nobody else wants to do their own books. I don't want to do my own books. I gotta offboard that at some point. Will the member account auto update by itself? Just curious. That is a great idea. The trouble, I'll be honest with you, the trouble with that is, let me go back to it. Let's show you the screen here. The trouble with that is that I'm currently on the low. There's like, I think there's 3 circle plans, and I'm on the lower one right now. And I'd have to double check. There's probably a way to do it, but I think that there might. Circle's weird. It gives you like a lot of options, but also a lot of shit is like you have to upgrade obviously to get it. I'm wondering, like, I would think you'd have to like kind of pull it from their API somehow, but I don't know if you get API access at the lower level. There's probably a more manual way to do it. Like a more like when I say manual, like an automated yet not direct way to do it almost, where like I could do something else and it'd be a little bit, I don't know. Greg says it's not about the choice of the platforms, but rather the quality of the content being provided. Marcus killing it and setting up folks for success. Levels like number 4. Greg, I appreciate that, brother. I should use that as a testimonial. Appreciate you. Coupon code for annual subscriptions, or was that for early founders? Right now, Jonesy, I don't think you're in there, but I'll explain that again though, because that's a good question. So the way that this is working right now is if you right now you go to that link, community, boom, you're in here. You go $39 a month, 38 or $348 per year. This is available to anyone, any public member right here. There is a founding member deal, but that's for people that invested early into the course and everything like that. So that's kind of just for them. But if you go in here, boom, this is what you got. So you got this annual thing, you got this. So cancel anytime, obviously. This is, kind of like almost, what is that? 2 or is it technically 3 months free? I guess. Did I do my math wrong there? Hopefully not. No, I think it's 3 months free. Is that right? I think. Might have to look at it again, but I don't know. Whatever it is right now. So go grab it if you want it. But yeah. Okay, where are we at here? Circle, yeah. Yep, it's Circle. Darn Claude, yeah. Circle plans with API access is second. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I'm on the first one right now. We're waiting for 100 more members in our own community before we do that, but I'm itching because it's uses fetch events from the front-facing website. Yeah. Honestly, it's a great platform. I'll give you guys a look. Let me give you guys a look if you're not in here already. Some of you guys I know already are, but let me give you a look. Where the hell is it? Not there. Not that. Hang on a second. Let me slide over here. I don't know how I lost it. There we go. Cool. I'm gonna be slightly careful here when I click, but yeah, cool. Should be good. Yeah, what the hell? It's my community. I can do whatever I want, right? Okay, so yeah. So this is her. It's getting populated. Put some posts in here. Again, we have some founders. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, okay? Because you're my live stream audience here. We have our founding members. They're all working through the course. Some people have finished, like I said. They're going to have access to, I can kind of show you this. Like, I can't really go to too much stuff here. I could probably go to some of the stuff, but like the the welcome and then the AI powered WordPress agency course. Right now, those are the two that you get. If you go to get the course for $199 right now, that's what you get access to. All the other stuff is part of the community, and then obviously you would get that as well if you're in the subscription. So that's kind of how I have it set up right now. We have the resource vault right now. Those are the resources that I've had as lead magnets. You just get those, you click those, you download those, everything. Events obviously is the office hours like I was talking about. You can, I do want to show you some of these things, and I'm going to make obviously like a sales video or whatever, like a VSL for some of this, but like there's general discussion right now and then promote your stuff. I want to talk about this for a moment because, no, a lot of other things don't have this. A lot of other groups don't have this. And like, I kind of get annoyed because I want to have one space to promote my stuff. It would be nice, right? So that's what this space is for. Like if you have something you're working on that you want to show people, like a product or whatever, like you can literally, you can't spam it, but you can literally like kind of, I think of it like ask for views or money there. I don't necessarily mean like give me money, but I mean like, here's what I'm working on that is related, loosely to this group. So that's something that I had. Now it's an experiment. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to shut it down. But that's one of the community things. So other community aspects, things there to come. Obviously I literally just set this up in the last 2 days, but yeah, introduce yourself, affiliate program, community guidelines, start here. And then for our founding members, there's just a little bit of a message there, just kind of expressing my gratitude and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Circle is a fantastic platform. Can't really say enough about it. I'm going to be in here every day, posting, answering questions. Obviously every other week I'm going to be doing the events, all of the resources that I'm posting, specifically the like the larger, more like complete templates and everything like that I'm using is going to go in here. It's going to be my hub for everything. Also the one-on-one call, obviously with the discount, you can get that from there. And then it's only up from here. Okay. So, other than that, we got a good mix of, I think we got a good mix of like freelancers, agency owners, designers, stuff like that already populated in here from the course. And yeah, that's pretty much, you got to start somewhere. So that's kind of where we're at here. What's up, Simon? Thank you for being here. I have 2 products that I would love to share. Well, Derek, I believe you're already in there, my friend. Go help me seed the community. Go do your thing. Go do your thing. I have to still send out, if you're a founding member, I know I probably didn't do a great job at this. I think I posted in that page, in that space, I posted with a post, and I don't know if everybody got notified of it. So I'm going to send out like an email as soon as we're done here to get some, just make sure everybody understands the lay of the land for founding members. And yeah, it should be pretty good there because, you can get in there and start doing some stuff. Greg, appreciate you being here, brother. Dude, that was absolutely amazing stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind words and all the input. Thank you so much. Gotta schedule that call with Simone. Big Simone. All right. Hour and a half in. That's pretty much all I got on the community side of things. Let me see if there's some other random topics here that I can kind of discuss. Let me get rid of some of this shit on my bar up here. I did want to try some other things. Maybe we could try something here real quick. Let me go here first, though. Just some other random things that I did. Obviously, made some adjustments to the website since we did this. So, Educator, Strategist, Builder. Again, trying to really optimize this for Google Knowledge Panel and such as well. Hopefully I get that back. That would be fantastic. Join my community and then work with me. So I kind of changed that. I kind of do want to talk about this for a second because this is a pretty serious transition that I've made in my thinking. And I want to document it here because maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's a terrible idea. I don't fucking know. We'll see. So the main call to action is join the community. You go here, etc. Right? If you go to the courses, you go here, and you kind of know it's kind of like cyclical in that sense. If you go to resources, you come over here. It's like, hey, there's more stuff behind this, community wall here. Okay, all that sort of stuff. That's whatever. But when you look at this, I think this might help a lot of you guys. But it depends on how you like to operate and like kind of feel like your personality. I love my personal site, as I've said many times. Like I don't mean the design, like, yeah, I like how it looks now, but I love that surface, the surface of like the personal site, because it's me, it's my name, it's everything that is about me sort of, but also like specific to the topic, obviously that I'm currently in and handling. And I just really enjoy it because like it's me and nobody can tell me what to put, what not to put, whatever, right? It's an extension of an agency site too, but like I've had this problem for a very long time. I think this will definitely resonate with some of you. I've pretty much been like a glorified freelancer because I've never really wanted to build like a large company. And now with AI, I feel even stronger about that I'm not against having help, like human help by any means, right? But at the same time, it's just like I feel like I can do a lot myself and then a lot with the help of AI faster, better now and everything that when I've always been calling Motive 11 an agency, and I mean, I guess technically it is. And I did the stream the other day on it, and I like the positioning now a little bit better than I did before, and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's still important to have this, but honestly, because this is an LLC, and then Samansky Media is an LLC, I kind of split up the content, education, and like all that like revenue or whatever, and then the service revenues over here. So my whole reason I'm saying this is that I just feel that I'm gonna take a new direction. I'm not getting rid of Motive 11. I'm not doing anything there. It's a sick name. It's amazing, and it may change in the future, right? But the idea is that this is the like the back office type entity. And I'm not telling that you should absolutely do this because it might not fit your situation. But for me, I'm so personally out there that like it's on my YouTube channel, it's on everything. Motive 11 is not going to do any marketing. Like there's at least in my mind currently, like there's no reason to do that. This goes back into the thing of like people connect with people more than they connect with brands. So like that's what I'm trying to do over here with just the Mark Samansky site. And I say all this to say that I'm just not trying to necessarily drive people this way. Like, yes, and I'm still doing client work, and I want to continue to do client work as the opportunities present themselves. But like, this isn't. I just feel like I'd have to work pretty hard to like get somebody to do like trust Motive 11 without knowing me. That like I'm not really focused on that at all. I'm focused on building AI powered digital systems for businesses and teaching others how to do it too. Like, and it's you know what I mean? Like I've always felt weird saying we over here because it's like it's been me and maybe a contractor here and there, and then the only thing is we now, it's me and AI, you know? So I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but that's my whole situation. And I'm lucky enough to have this personality and this whatever that I can do this from a again, the personal brand angle. But maybe you don't have that, but I still think like a lot of people like really do resonate with that. And even if you're a freelancer, even if you're not making content or whatever, like I still think like this is kind of an interesting approach. So I say all that as a crazy preamble of, yeah, you can join the community from here, right? But if you work with me, I made some changes here recently, and I said, let's solve your problem together. I work directly with business owners, et cetera, whatever. And I'm almost taking a different approach. I'm taking an approach of, I am an educator, a strategist, and a builder. So I educate. Okay, that's over there, right? We can educate if you want to do stuff like me, right? Like, or want to learn from me in that regard. But I also do strategy, obviously, with the advisory calls, right? So that's more like consulting, strategy, et cetera. Okay, so that's kind of like the next level up, and you can learn more. You can book a call, whatever. But then over here is like, all right, this is where we're going to work together, right? We're going to actually build projects, and we're going to do this stuff. And if you, and there's some other shit down here, obviously, in testimonials and stuff, but if you go here, this is basically a simplified version of the Motive 11 website. And in your case, it might be a simplified version of your agency or your business website. But it's done in a way where, you see, I feel much better about saying I on this website than I would have over here. And I just don't like the word we because it's just not true. And I don't know what it is about me. I don't even feel like it's lying. It's just like I don't like the way that I say that. And I've tried to condition myself to say we, but it's fucking hard to say we. You know what I mean? Now, I see there's one trouble here is some people aren't going to want to hire you if you're just like one person, so to speak. But a lot of people I do think will, especially if, in my case, I can demonstrate all of this knowledge and expertise publicly, and then they come back and they're like, okay, yeah, well, for sure, let's do this, right? So it's, conversations. It's simplified, right? It's got social proof, stuff like that. I could make the design better and stuff like that. But the point is that this is a simplified way of doing this. And now I think it says somewhere in here. Does it say somewhere in here? Yeah. So like this is like the only mention of this kind of in a way. It's like projects are scoped and delivered through Motive 11, my services company. You'll still work directly with me. Motive 11 handles the contracts, invoicing, project management, everything that stays clean and professional. I still think that's the right way to go. And I've always liked that. I've always liked having different entities for like kind of different parts of it. You don't have to do that. It's a little overwhelming, but I have a history of creating way too many LLCs, and I've, been to rehab for it. Just kidding. But that's kind of what I think there is. I actually really like this. I don't necessarily know if people are going to like run through this website and get to this point. That's not, I want to show them the path. And I think that it's probably not going to happen. I don't know if this is your guys' experience as well, but like I never get shit through the channels that I actually want to get it through. It's always like DM or some other random stuff, but it's fine. I'll take the leads on it however they come. But my point is that this structure of herding people through this, I think makes a lot of sense. And it resonates a lot more with me now that I can just say, I am a partner for my clients directly rather than putting up a facade that I have some sort of like scaled type agency. So I don't know, it's something that I've thought about a lot of. And I think the two still exist together, and they both coexist, but it's just like it's a different way of almost marketing it and saying it that I think could be beneficial long term. So I don't know. That was just something that I've changed here recently, and I thought that it was really kind of interesting because I'd never done it before, and I just leaned into it, and it feels better. Will it be better? I don't know, but that's that. Also another random thing is I just want to keep looking at this damn music section that it made me here. It's pretty amazing. If you click on this, it's a little fucking player. I mean, try making that in WordPress. You know what I mean? Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Look at that. That's unreal. That was like, I'm not joking. I should have filmed that. That was less than half an hour to do that. So it's pretty sick. All right, what else we got here? Didn't get a notification, but I'm coming on. Sweet. The Wii thing is real. I never liked it. I never liked Wii. It makes me feel crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't do it. I mean, I can do it, but I can't do it when it's not true. It's like I don't know. It's just not. It's a little easier now with the AI situation, but it's like it's just double-edged sword. It's like some people will love you because you're not yourself, you're not just yourself, okay? And some people will love you because you are yourself and they want more like specific care or whatever. Here's the hard part. I hypothesize. The hard part is building enough rapport, which isn't hard for me necessarily, but positioning yourself as an individual, but more than a freelancer, so that you don't have a situation where like they treat you like they don't have to pay you a fair amount. It's like you need to. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to figure it out. Like positioning yourself as like a not like a super high price, but like a higher priced strategist and consultant that is also building the shit. It's not like that in and of itself. If you're that person, you need to like market yourself in that way, because that's not a normal thing that somebody could do all that. That's a very unique skill set, and you need to make sure that you're not cheating yourself when you're quoting projects, because I absolutely have in the past. And that's the whole reason that like I want to continue to take on client work, obviously, because I do want to help people. But at the same time, like I can't be like diminishing my shit. Like if I had a team of people, then I'd have more costs, but my time would be worth more, but I wouldn't be charging against my time. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just what you feel and what you want to do. But I just can't imagine like actually, like I didn't wake up one day and It's probably how I started business. Like I didn't wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to have a company of 10 people. Like it's just not what I wanted to do. Maybe that'll change. It could absolutely change. But as of right now, I feel like if I could, me personally with the education stuff and then also the strategy and implementation, if I could do both of those things, then um, more from an I rather than a we, I think it's a win. So yeah, the we thing has fake value. Yeah. Yeah. I don't, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I've never been able to get it yet. So I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, I started from the agency angle a few years ago, but quickly realized freelance was more suitable for me and how I prefer to work. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I've always thought like freelance too is like, I personally like, and maybe this is a limiting thing or whatever, and maybe I have to unlearn it. I hate the word freelance. It seems amateurish to me, but I also think that that's maybe not the best way to think about it, and there's probably a different perspective. And I also think at the same time, though, it matters who you're talking to. So, like I said earlier, maybe I think that, but maybe they don't think that. I think there is like a perfect, or not maybe perfect, but like there's like a really good blend there where it's like you're more of a partner, right? Like you're more of a specific, like a strategic partner, which we've heard that type of term before, but yeah, that's kind of, I'm just trying it. I'm trying it because again, this is great and this is not going to go anywhere. And like, this is still the entity, but it's not really doing anything. Like there's no, like people come here probably because they see me and then they see Motive 11, but like this is the last thing on this is like, I've also struggled heavily with like, okay, well, where do I send people? And this is possibly more of a me problem. So if you'll humor me, but like I'm putting out content for people that are a little bit less now implementers. Like, yes, they're implementers, but I feel like with the AI stuff, rather than building in fucking bricks and etch and all that sort of stuff, fantastic tools, obviously. But like, if you're watching that content, you are obviously making websites for people. Like, most likely, like maybe a few people are not, but I've always like been so surprised and confused and bewildered by anybody that's gotten clients from that type of work from that type of content. It just never made any sense to me. And I wonder to myself, like, okay, well, I've put out a bunch of content about like page building and WordPress and whatever. And like, I've maybe gotten like a couple leads, maybe, but like, that's not who's gonna, like, it just doesn't make any sense that that would resonate with that. It's like, if you're caring enough to do a bricks tutorial or whatever, or you're caring enough to watch that, you're probably just going to build it yourself. And if you're going to build it yourself, maybe you're going to build it for other people too. Right. Now, maybe that's not everyone's experience, but the whole point of me saying that is because with the AI content, I do believe that there could be more businesses now, especially when I deploy the other marketing methods that I'm going to do, where I talk about the stuff to builders and implementers mostly. I have the community and et cetera. And then I also send the examples, not like the technical implementation stuff, but like the examples of what I've been able to build to past clients and then potentially any like new clients or whatever. We didn't talk about email marketing enough in this, but that is also the absolute key. I mean, I get absolutely pummeled with the people that I follow on YouTube now with this stuff, and it's just like you got to be in people's inboxes. I can't believe it works, but it seemingly does work. It's just like that's where you hit them, and you're providing value. You can't just like ask all the time for fucking money, but like it's crazy. It's weird how it works. It's like it's so direct. So yeah, I don't know. Another random take there. Mark is a man with integrity. I appreciate that. I do my best. I will absolutely email you. I can't remember what the hell that thing was called. I should ask the man right now. I should have just done that. My man Christian McCoa is in. I'll do a voice to text. Look at this. What is that AI bookkeeping app you use? My man Christian McCoa is out in Europe, so maybe he'll answer that. Anything else here, boys? I spent almost 2 hours on this. I did have some other thoughts. If anybody has any questions, if you're still hanging around, if you have any questions on anything, I can answer those. If If you want to see anything specific, I can answer those. I'm going to scroll back up in the chat. I know I didn't hit everyone because we did a lot of stuff here. If there's anything, let me know. If not, I do have a lot of work that I could probably do. Oh shit, Josh Hall, my man. Sorry, Josh. Don't know if you're still here. Mark, how are you feeling leading up to the little Smansky coming soon? You know, I'll be transparent with you. No worries at all about being a father, a good father, a good husband. Obviously, I hope Nolan is extremely healthy, and you know, there's no issues there. Obviously, pray for that. But you can't control those things. So I honestly don't really. I've done such a good job, mostly at not caring about, not worrying about things that I can't control. That said, I almost do that too much because I feel like I haven't controlled enough of the variables that I can sometimes. Like for instance, the reality of like probably how much money it's gonna take to like raise a child. Not necessarily just raise a child, but also like I would, you know, my wife Amanda she was born to be a mother. Like she's wanted that for a long time, and you know, I want to give her that freedom to like stay at home and raise our child and raise our children. And that's, I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot of pressure that I've put on myself because of that. And I luckily am not one to fold under pressure because I probably could have. But if I have stayed with this business thing for this long at this point, I don't think there's nothing that's going to like knock me off track with that. But I'm saying all this because like I'm not worried at all about like what I have to do, you know, change diapers. I'm not like a, you know, like a scared dad like shaking in my boots, but it's more like I need to become, my goal for this year when we did our reflection that we do every year was to provide for my family. Like that's what I need to do. That's really the only thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's been a big transitionary year. Last year was a lot of travel, a lot of WordPress stuff. Again, don't regret any of it, but it's way different. I'm going to be extremely vulnerable with you right now. Like there's a lot of people in my life that I've created really good connections with over the last year and a half, 2 years. And now the connections have they haven't diminished, but they've been altered just because of the route that I go. And this is normal. This is life, guys. Like you shouldn't, I'm not telling you, oh, this is so sad. That's not, it's life. It's people only in your life for seasons. They're in your life certain amounts for different seasons. And I'm so like tapped into this, but it's still life. It's still real. I still got to go through it. I still got to do it. And again, I have done a lot of really great stuff over the course of this business career that I've had the content career and everything. And I've affected a lot of people. I get a lot of questions. I think people, you know, largely respect me and I appreciate all the everything, all the support and everything. I'm going to tell you straight. I have not been the best business person because I am very good at exploring, learning, trying, sharing, explaining things, educating. I'm also good at service providing, obviously, but I'm not like just from the very beginning, leaving a job where I was, you know, I had some money or whatever. Like I didn't focus on I didn't dive into business to make money. I dived into business to be fulfilled and to do things and not have a boss. And honestly, you know, coming from like a comfortable, not rich, but comfortable background, that's not actually where it doesn't make you an advantage. It's normally not advantageous when you go into business. So this is a long answer to Josh's question, but that's what I'm learning. And that's what I've learned in the last very short amount of time, truthfully, honestly. Like I've only tried to turn it on here very recently, and I'm happy with how we're headed because I know that it's going to continue to get better and trend, and it already has trended. But that's the long and short of it. I'm not worried about anything that I can't control. And I'm also not worried about the new phases of my life, etc. The only thing I'm concerned about is making money to provide for my family. And I'm not going to scam fucking people with that. It's just that it's very simple. I've provided a fuck ton of value for a very long time, and I've asked for very little in return in terms of money. And that's completely my fault. That's not anybody else's fault. And I'm just finally taking complete responsibility for that because I have to, because we are in a, not by any means a dire situation, but like we're in a situation now where like we have to go that direction, and we just have to be a better why am I saying we? I have to be a better business person, a better entrepreneur. It's really that simple. It's not any more complicated than that. It's not really emotional. You can't let it be emotional. I've let it be emotional. And it's not helpful. So maybe that resonates with some of you guys. Maybe it doesn't. But it's really that simple. So I do appreciate that question, because I like to reflect. Maybe I'll clip that and put it on the second channel or something, but that's kind of that's the long and short of it there. That was a long pause before answering. Yeah. Carefully choosing the words. Yeah. I should have asked Claude on that. Yeah, you're right. All women were born to be a mother. True. Not all boys here. Yeah. Thank you. No matter the species. Reason, season, or lifetime. Yeah. Good for you, Mark. Family is everything. We supported, swapped roles with my husband to make that happen. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys. That's pretty much the long and short of it, though. I know what I have to do. That's been the motivation behind, the course initially. Obviously the community now. It's pretty simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I'm not the only person doing these types of things. Sometimes, you like I said earlier, you get into this mindset where like, oh, you can't do it because somebody else is doing it, or it's whatever. But, I've been working hard here for a lot of years. I've been working even harder recently. And, it's just, I don't know, just feel like I'm slightly rambling at this point, but that's it. That's literally the whole answer to that question. And, it's not anything. You just got to control the things you can kind of try to control. And I'm doing my best to move us in that direction. But yeah, just scrolling through chat here, see if there's anything else crazy going on. I definitely need to use some of you guys as testimonials here. I appreciate all these comments. That's all I got, I think. Yeah, we've gone 2 hours here. I like to keep that. Well, I mean, I did an 8-hour stream. That was kind of ridiculous, but I think we've had a good chat here. I really appreciate all you guys. Again, community's there if you want it. Course is there if you want that. Do what you got to do if you're interested in any of that. I'm going to continue to talk about them, continue to show you kind of what's going on behind the scenes, obviously on the second channel, more content coming on the first channel. Eventually, I imagine I'm going to have more stuff on the in the community as well for like, trainings and things there. But I really want to create that space. I know that could be great. Obviously there's a portion of me that, it's about recurring revenue as well. I'm not going to fucking sugarcoat that. But at the same time, like, it's in exchange for value, that's one of the things that I need to do. I need to continue to do all that, to do that sort of stuff, because I probably just need to work harder and smarter as an entrepreneur, as I said. So I'm super excited about it. Yeah, but am I still talking? Is my mic off? Yeah, I am still talking. One quick one. Are you still doing newsletters? Yeah, so I mean, I have the newsletter there. You can sign up for that. I'll say again, like with the email marketing stuff, like I should definitely, that is literally on the list right now, for obviously the community's sake, but also for the the other stuff that I have going on, just the content in general. I used to do newsletters all the time. Maybe this is what you're referring to. I used to do all the like newsletters all the time for like when the live stream was coming out. And like I would just like say, hey, we're gonna live stream today, and I would send out a newsletter. I just don't really I don't know if that's like annoying. Seems like it's annoying as fuck. Like why would like I'm only doing it on YouTube now, so like maybe subscribe and notifications would just be easier. I don't know. I don't know. If I was good enough, then if I keep doing like like weekly live streams, then it would be it'd be interesting to kind of like do like one a week and say like what it was going to be like on Monday. Say like, hey, make sure you bookmark this live stream or whatever. But I have not been scheduling these that far in advance. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be utilizing email marketing more, for sure. So there will be more newsletters. So if you're on there, appreciate you. If you're not, then just head over to the website and hop on. But yeah, it's kind of the answer there. So this has been good. I feel good about this. I feel really good about this. I appreciate all your guys' support, comments, everything like that. I have to continue to go make more content because that is the engine for all of this. It's working for the first time substantially, pretty much in my entire career with this. So yeah, we are on a good trajectory with the growth on YouTube. Kudos to you guys. So yeah, I got to go do more of that. So yeah. Anywho, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Community, course, resources, tools, all that stuff on the website. More coming, videos, etc. If you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, I'm always down and open for like content suggestions. I might put like a form on the website maybe or something. Obviously I'll have stuff in the community, but even just public suggestions, I'm down for it. So definitely hit me up. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for being here. I greatly do appreciate it a lot.